Welcome to 5 Minutes for Healing. And today we're going to be talking about dissociation. Dissociation is, we can explain it as some form of disconnection with parts of ourselves. You could call it a form of spacing out. Now, we all dissociate at times. Think of the time perhaps you're driving on the highway and you missed your turnoff because you were lost in thought. Or maybe you lost some time as you were immersed in an activity, whether that be TV or doing some chores or just getting into something that you really like and losing track of other responsibilities. Now, normally when we have experiences, we call those experiences having regular memory to them. Let me explain. For example, I can tell you what I had for dinner last night. I can tell you about when I had dinner. I can tell you what was on my plate, and I can tell you when roughly I finished off my dinner. That's regular memory. But when we're in situations of danger, then we encode memory differently. We can call that traumatic memory because we know the regular way of taking in memory, building memory, just doesn't exist anymore. And here's where we can see the role dissociation plays. When we were in danger at the time of the abuse or the assault, we can say dissociation helped us back then. It helped reduce our overwhelming stress, and at that time allowed us to get through it, allowed us to survive. But now, later on, we can't see the function anymore. Dissociation no longer serves its purpose. Ultimately, we can say because dissociation doesn't keep us anchored in the here and now, we run into trouble when we do dissociate. So we can see that there's a form of splitting that goes on. We may have memory of the past situation, but not have any accompanying emotions or felt states with that memory. Or there may be times that the emotions and the felt states are there big time, but there's no accompanying memory to that emotional reaction. So then now, in the here and now, there may be moments where you believe you may be emotionally numb when the situation should suggest that there would be emotions. And other times you may have a big emotional expression that seems somewhat out of context given where you're at. No matter what, remind yourself you are not going crazy. Dissociation is a common experience for many survivors. It may be stubborn, and maybe a stubborn part of your post-trauma work to do, but dissociation as we know it is not permanent. There's a number of strategies that can chip away at this pattern of dissociation, a pattern that may have been part of your life for years, possibly even decades. We'll explore some of these strategies, like the example of grounding, later on in this video series. No matter what, our goal is to reconnect to ourselves and befriend ourselves too. That reconnection, that befriending needs to occur with our bodies, needs to occur with our emotional expressions. It also needs to be accompanied by how we understand and perceive the world. Given all that, our ultimate goal is to return to our authentic selves. Thanks for joining us today in this discussion on dissociation. Stay tuned to our next video in this series on trauma recovery. Until we meet again, friends.